Ms Patten has the call.
Thank you very much, Acting President. And yeah, I rise to speak in support of Mr Meddick's motion. And it was interesting hearing Mr Grimley talking about the long experience of Mr Hinch in this area. And certainly as someone who has got a conservation reserve of some 300 acres that backs onto the Snowy Mountain National Park, I am well aware of the use of 1080, and I'm well aware of the ineffective use of 1080. I'm well aware that it has not stopped the feral pigs, it has not stopped the foxes, it has not stopped the rabbits, it has not stopped wild dogs and feral cats. We still have a significant issue with all of those, despite decades of baiting with using 1080. So we have to do this differently. And we know that this is an incredibly dangerous poison, and it's, while it hasn't stopped the number of pigs, rabbits, foxes and dogs in my area, it has had an effect on some of our lizards. It's had an effect even on some of our marsupials, but it's really had an effect on some of our birds. And I was pleased to see that that some jurisdictions are already phasing this out in Australia. We know that most jurisdictions overseas have already done it. They understand that it is a horrible poison that does awful things to any animal who consumes it. But more importantly, it actually is not an effective pest management and pest control strategy. So as we know, it's been banned in most countries, and it was even it was banned in the USA in the 1970s. This is something that other jurisdictions have moved on from long ago. Australia is in a real backwater in regards to the use of this poison. I note that it was only probably last year the Blue Mountains local government have phased out using this. There has been calls for national parks in New South Wales to phase out using this. And probably closer to home, we have had a parliamentary report that is recommending that we phase this out. So we must do this. If we are, and as the inquiry into the ecosystem decline in Victoria found, we have some really significant issues around the decline of our ecosystem, the decline of our species, the extraordinary rate of extinction of our native animals in this country. And 1080 plays a role in that. And it doesn't play a good role. There are far better ways to protect our native flora and fauna than using 1080 that has been found to, as I say, not even be effective. So this is a sensible motion. I think, I would very much like to. We've seen most of the farmers in our region no longer use 1080. They don't have to. We have hunters in the area, which might not be the Animal Justice Party's solution to this, but we have hunters. We have other ways to protect any of the livestock in the area that has been attacked by dogs in the past. That is largely that concern has largely disappeared in my area, as has the use of 1080. So there's other ways to deal with this, and I commend this motion.